If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
The juice is loose.
Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is a sequel to a movie that came out 36 years ago. That's a really long time. So the question is, do you need to see that original movie in order to understand this one? No, but the added context certainly helps. There's a lot of characters in this movie and plots and rules that aren't really explained. They're kind of just glossed over because they assume that you've seen the first one already. If you know absolutely nothing about these movies, basically Beetlejuice is a demon living in the afterlife that when you say his name 3 times in a row, he is summoned to the world of the living and he causes all kinds of chaos and havoc and cartoonish shenanigans. Let's give it a try. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. The basic plot for this movie, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, is Winona Ryder's character from the first movie is now all grown up, and she has her own daughter, played by Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega does not like Winona Ryder's character because she's a bitch. And also her dad recently passed away. At one point, Jenna Ortega runs away, and she winds up crashing into the yard of a tall, cute, lanky boy, and they instantly hit it off, and they fall in love with each other. If only it were that easy, huh? Gosh, I sure hope no super cute goth women break through my door and we fall in love. Anyway, Jenna Ortega decides that she wants to see her dead father and crosses into the afterlife. Winona Ryder wants to get her out, so she enlists the help of Beetlejuice. And that's basically the premise of the movie. As for what I thought overall, this movie is pretty great. I thought it was pretty funny. A lot of the jokes landed most of the time. The characters are very interesting and entertaining. Beetlejuice especially steals the show. I loved all the practical effects and the puppets and the costumes and the makeup effects and all the different styles of animation. Sometimes they switched over to like a claymation kind of thing. It was very cool, very Tim Burton-y. Whenever they go to the afterlife, it's very vibrant with lots of neon colors and blues and pinks and shadows to let you know that this is the land of the dead. Oddly, the land of the dead is way more lively than the actual living world. Speaking of music, there are tons of needle drops. They use full songs from the Bee Gees, Richard Marx, and Donna Summer. And when they play these songs, they really play the entire song. The entire climax of this movie is a Donna Summer song. The movie almost turns into a music video for like 5 minutes. However, it's not a perfect movie. There are quite a few negatives that I want to address. Number one, I think there's just too much going on. There's like at least 5 different plot lines happening at the same time. There's the Beetlejuice plotline, there's the Jenna Ortega plotline, Winona Ryder, the afterlife stuff, and Beetlejuice's ex-wife is chasing him down. All these things get resolved by the end of the movie, but because there's so many things happening at once, a lot of it feels pretty undercooked. If you had cut out a few of these plot lines, you probably could have made the remaining ones a lot stronger. Speaking of Beetlejuice's ex-wife, the villains in this movie are pretty weak. The movie makes it seem like Beetlejuice's ex-wife is going to be the main villain, and she has this intro scene, and it's really cool, it's really funny, really interesting and engaging, and then she kind of doesn't do anything for most of the movie. Beetlejuice's ex-wife is played by that sexy French girl from The Matrix. You know, the one with the big boobs. I mean some serious honkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some donbon honkaroos. Big old ton hongaroo. Big old ton hongaroo cougars. Humongous humongous honlan nolologankis. She spends most of the time hunting Beetlejuice down, and when it's finally time to confront them, they kind of deal with her almost instantaneously and she's done. Beetlejuice and her hardly interact with each other the entire movie. You could cut her out of the movie completely and nothing would change. The same goes with a twist villain that happens in the movie as well. I don't want to say for spoilers' sake, but they make this villain seem like a really big deal, and then halfway through the movie they kind of deal with them and they're just gone and we never see them again. It's just really odd. They should have focused on one or the other, but not both. The movie is pretty mean-spirited too. There are a lot of deaths in this movie, and I know that it's a movie about like the dead and the afterlife, but some characters just get it and they absolutely don't deserve it. There's a character that dies and it seems like it's playing up to some sort of punchline and it just never comes. They just kill a character off and it's really mean-spirited and it made me sad. Another complaint I have is that the climax is basically just a rehash of the first movie, with Beetlejuice trying to marry Winona Ryder again. I don't know, it seems like they just wanted to do this big music video kind of thing, so they kind of ham-fisted that plot line in again. Other than those weak plot points, I think that the movie overall was very entertaining and very fun. If you're a big fan of Tim Burton movies like Nightmare Before Christmas or Coraline, then you're definitely going to enjoy this movie as well. I give it a big old recommendation. Go see this movie if you have the chance. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Have a rotten day.